A sickening story out of Alabama. A child sex trafficking ring busted. Police say at least 10 children as young as 3 years old were held captive in a storm shelter turned bunker. 7 people have been arrested so far, including 3 family members and 2 mothers whose children were also allegedly trapped and abused. They all face a laundry list of charges ranging from sodomy to sexual torture and human trafficking.
There was a toilet in there. There was a mattress they were using as a bed in there, room for some chairs and things like that. It's kind of a concrete block structure, partially underground, to where you walk around back and you can see it, but it's going into kind of like a hillside. And then on the top of it, like I say, it was like a pad for the roof and then a carport put over. So when you pull up and look at it, it just looks like a carport on a concrete slab. I do believe it was built for a good thing and used for a horrible thing.
Here to weigh in, Allie Hopper, the president and co-founder of Guard Against Trafficking. Allie, police say one of the suspects would put a white powder in the kids' drinks before bringing in clients who would pay up to $1,000 for these so-called appointments. I mean, I'm sorry, I think the death penalty is too charitable for these people. But my question is, how does something like this go undetected for years? I think so many people watching this tonight wonder how that can happen, but I guess it's happening all the time.
Yeah, Laura, thank you for having me. Really, this is a horrifying reality, but what the public needs to understand is that human trafficking isn't something that just happens in a foreign country. It has been happening across communities across the country for years, and people need to be aware that it's in communities like yours and mine, and that this isn't the only circumstance that exists out there. I'm so happy that those children were rescued, but the public needs to be aware that there are many other trafficking rings and operations that exist just like this one.
And I think of these poor children, these innocent children, and how they're going to go forward with their lives and try to rebuild their, everything about them as human beings. I'm reading the details of this. I had to stop because it was so upsetting. I want to talk about how the border impacts this already huge problem in the United States and globally. So the Biden administration lost track of 300,000 children who crossed the border. You testified on Capitol Hill, I know, last week about a hotline that was given to these unaccompanied minors. You said 65,000 calls to this hotline number, I guess they had access to between, what was it, August 2024 and Inauguration Day? What happened with those calls?
Yeah, so it was a safeguard put in place by the previous administration, and it looked good on policy, it looked good on paper, but when the policy doesn't actually work, when what was implemented as a safeguard doesn't work, and you only have one person assigned to the hotline to manage and field all of these calls, that is what happens, and that is what results with 65,000 unanswered calls. One of the stories was that a child had called into the hotline reporting that men were coming into his room at night and they were touching him. That call went unanswered until this administration took office and acted very swiftly, conducted a home study, a welfare check, rescued the child, and the sponsor's been arrested. But there are numerous cases like this, and honestly, this would have never been uncovered until this administration took over and reviewed
Shut down the border.
that.
Shut down the border. And federal charges, conspiracy to child sex traffic charges, RICO charge, whatever you have to do, this should be so painful for these individuals they wouldn't even consider doing it. Allie, thank you. You're heroic in your work on this issue. We appreciate it. And coming up, Democrats return to their old dirty tricks, the latest hysteria, and how it's playing next.